Hot topic alert right off the bat. Has Me Too become a risk management issue for men?
Yes, most assuredly, it has.
Are men avoiding women at work? What's the data behind it, and where are we at with this? I'm going to explain to you a lot of that movement in this video. My name is Beate Gillette. I'm the founder of the Women's Code, also known as the Growth Architect.
Yes, one of my past videos responded to Ms. Gillette on a separate topic, and she is one of the few subjects I have profiled to respond to me both directly and cordially. So when I came across this recent piece of hers, I was very curious to hear what she had to say on the subject of Me Too, as she has both run businesses and is a business consultant. So, let's begin.
And I am an outspoken advocate for women's issues, women's rights, and for equality. Little did we know that asking for equality was just going to take, the knife and put it right in the heart of the issue, and things have just been exploding since the days of Me Too when it first came forward.
Actually, I would argue that the seeds of the backlash you're seeing now were planted well before Me Too came to prominence. But I will get to that shortly.
So, a lot of people on my channel, on my YouTube channel, so thank you for the many of you who are consistently watching and are commenting and sharing your honest feelings and opinions in a respectful and constructive way. I appreciate you being here.
Well, I will certainly do my best, though I have been known to be somewhat snarky from time to time.
I have listened to you because a lot of the men have said Me Too has become truly a risk management issue. So I've looked a little bit into that. And yes, you are absolutely right. We are seeing an anti-woman movement, the backlash for the Me Too movement, that now has accused women of treating men unfairly, for accusing them for no good reason, for exploiting the Me Too movement. In other videos, I've debunked that as not being the case, but I want to stay here now with the side of men.
Okay, firstly, I would argue that it is not an anti-woman movement. It is an I don't want to lose my career or reputation movement. Because, like it or not, it is the case that men and boys have had their lives ruined over false accusations, and most particularly before Me Too ever happened. You say you've debunked the idea that false accusations have arisen because of Me Too. Well, what about Aziz Ansari? He's an outspoken feminist celebrity, and his career and reputation were put in dire straits after a woman categorized a consensual encounter as something sinister and creepy. A high-profile incident like that doesn't count. But, as I said, the seeds of reasonable concern on the part of men precede the advent of Me Too. Take, for example, the case of Emma Solkowitz, who falsely accused a classmate of rape, and, on the basis of her story, that student was expelled, vilified, and turned into a social pariah. Meanwhile, Ms. Solkowitz turned her lie into an act of performance martyrdom, carrying a mattress around campus as her own invented cross to bear. She received accolades and honors for her bravery, while her victim had to fight to get his reputation back, eventually winning, but not nearly with the amount of coverage or fanfare as his accuser received. Or, how about the UVA Rolling Stone rape case, which saw an entire fraternity turned into a violent mob of criminals on the basis of an out-and-out lie? Similarly, what about the Duke lacrosse rape case, which as well cornered innocent boys and men into being the worst of human beings on the basis of a lie and a rush to judgment. Men have even gone to jail on the basis of complete lies, as in a notorious London case that only recently was rectified. All of these are factual, cautionary tales over the real dangers of false accusations against men by women. Now, they may not be the norm, but they are also not fairy tales. And because of Me Too, most men are not willing to roll the dice on their reputations, their careers, or even their freedoms without taking precautions. But there is another aspect to the Me Too backlash that I think you might be overlooking, but I will address that in my summation.
So men have said they do not want to be in a one-on-one meeting with another woman. Some people have said that teams are either all male or all female teams that are now being sent. Companies are losing their mentors because men do not want to mentor young women specifically anymore for the fear of facing a sexual harassment or a retaliation lawsuit because, God forbid, she's upset, she cries, and you hug her, and that can be sort of misconstrued.
Indeed. But the question is that an unreasonable concern on the part of men, or isn't it?
So, what do you need to know about this? You need to know about this. You cannot avoid women. You can't avoid women.
As a matter of equal employment law? No. As a matter of working socialization? You certainly can, by diminishing the number of scenarios or situations where a man will be alone with a woman in the workplace or elsewise. Like you said, risk management.
And you might want to follow what's now called the Mike Pence rule, which is that he will never be seen with a woman other than his wife. He will never eat with another woman but his wife.
It may sound extreme, but it is by far the safest way to avoid accusations of misconduct without witnesses to the contrary. Like you said, risk management.
But we are achieving equality for one and one reason only, and it is diversity of thought. Because our customers, the people that our businesses are providing services for, our families are diverse. Because of that, you can now not say, because there's issues surrounding diverse groups or diverse teams, now you're going to avoid it altogether by separating them once again. That's just idiotic.
But how is the Mike Pence principle any less idiotic then? If the risk is either a mistaken or malicious accusation on the part of a woman against a man, where the man is on the defensive and Me Too, and past trends in general, give the benefit of the doubt to the woman first and foremost, why wouldn't you place insulation between yourself and the possibility of a disaster?
Besides, if you were to do that, there's another form of harassment, and you could get sued for that.
So, no matter what men do to try and mitigate the risk of an accusation of harassment or discrimination, they can be accused of harassment or discrimination. Got it.
So the only way to address the issues that are surrounding the Me Too movement as it comes to men is hire a professional trainer like myself or a facilitator, somebody who takes the men into a room and says, let's address the elephant in the room.
So you want to separate the men from the women because obviously it is the men who need the talking to. But in the work environment, separating the men from the women is a bad thing.
Now you're going to avoid it altogether by separating them once again. That's just idiotic.
Well, is the solution to this problem just lecturing men? Or is it getting everyone involved to be on the same page regarding boundaries and expectations?
The only reason there's always such discomfort is in the absence of facts and information. People fill in the gaps with what they believe or have heard. You do not want that.
Then, what exactly is the point of the Me Too movement? Is it a new outlook on gender equality in the workplace? Or isn't it? Are people supposed to listen to the claims and complaints and stories on which Me Too is based? Or not?
You want to be the one who gives your teams the information, the data, the how to behave, how to act, and the training. You cannot expect behavior to change just because somebody said you can't harass women anymore. If you don't know what it means, if you don't know the behavior that's, questionable, if nobody tells you what to do instead, how would any man know what to do?
Well, apparently, no matter what a man might do, it is wrong by your own statements.
Besides, if you were to do that, there's another form of harassment, and you could get sued for that.
If men change nothing, they are perpetuating the same culture that led to Me Too in the first place, and are thus a part of the problem. But if they try to change their culture to increase professional distance between men and women to avert bad actions, or to avert the interpretations of bad actions, then that's another form of workplace discrimination or harassment, according to you. So, I'm not quite sure what it is you're asking men to do.
So again, the solution to the backlash for men in the Me Too movement, I can tell you in one word: training. I hope this helps. Share your thoughts, like the video, share it, and let's engage in a discussion. How can we get men on board? And please spare me with the all women this, all women that. We are all in this together. This is an equal world.
Okay, so regarding that other aspect to Me Too that I think our speaker may be missing, those changes that she mentioned that some companies are making, putting space between men and women, divvying up groups, and being hesitant to interact with women like they might have previously, that is men responding to Me Too. That is men trying to give women what they have been told women want: a change. A change in business culture and atmosphere. A change in how women are treated. And unfortunately, that means treating women with kid gloves. That means being cautious as to not say the wrong thing, make the wrong move, or get too close to the wrong person. The problem is, you don't know who the wrong person might be, so you have to treat everyone equally. That is, with equal caution. And I do hate to say it, but our speaker is not helping the issue. By saying that she has debunked there being any basis for Me Too or other instances of false accusations to have taken place, in the workplace or otherwise, she has relegated all the responsibility onto men to make the changes, while also categorizing them as irrational and paranoid. And so, who is left to be both the victims of and beholden to men? Well, women, of course.
Of course!
Navigating through this new gender war zone has to be a combined effort. There has to be an acknowledgement of the potential for wrongdoing by men as well as by women. The perils of bad acts in the workplace, either by direct offense, misunderstanding, or by false accusation, have to be a part of the conversation for both men and women. Otherwise, you are denying the same kind of reality that Me Too was meant to bring to light in the first place. Except in this case, you're denying the legitimate fears of men in favor of assuming the infallibility of women. As always, Thank you for watching.